So, this is kind of one of the classes. So one of the classes in our course, this is similar to what we teach in our course. Of course, we go much more in depth and we go into a lot more details than this. But this is basically one of the classes that we go through and teach you how to actually set this stuff up. We're not going to be able to go through that much of it today. Obviously, we only have a certain amount of time, but you'll be able to kind of get a flavor for how this all works. All right. So here's our agenda. Everything's good? You see? Okay. So our agenda. So first I'm going to do a little introduction. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and about Lumibot and our classes to kind of get you to understand what we're all about. And if you want to sign up, you can do that as well. And then we're going to go into what is algorithmic trading. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our returns and how we've been doing, the tools, and we'll get into the code. All right. Okay. So to get started, so first of all, who am I? So my name is Robert. I'm the CEO of this company and also one of our lead instructors. We have recently brought in more instructors as well to teach other courses. Most notably, we have a new course on machine learning that's starting pretty soon as well. Specifically machine learning for finance, right? So it's all of our stuff in our school is geared towards the finance industry, right? So myself, I have a master's in finance. I worked on Wall Street for a number of years. Actually, was one of the founder of Voyager. It's a crypto trading app. I think we're like valued at $1 billion now. Definitely a very, very good return on my shares being, I think I was employee number 4, right? So definitely really paid off really well there. So I was one of the founding members of that company. Also worked at a company called Greystone, which is, a lending company, and actually ran their software team there, helped build the entire software team, built out all their kind of stuff there. And I think to date, there's probably been about 30 or $40 billion that has gone through that system that my team created. So that's kind of a little bit about my background. I also have been coding software for a very long time. It's been about 20 years. I was one of those guys that started learning when he was like 12. For some reason, loved coding my entire life. So that's kind of my story. What is Lumibot? We're an education company. We will teach you specifically about how to program things for the finance world, right? So we have this course, the Algorithmic Trading course, which is what I'm going to show you a little bit about today. But we also have a machine learning course, so specifically machine learning geared towards finance. And then we're also going to be adding in new courses probably, and actually give me feedback. And I'd love to hear what you guys want to have as courses, because we're constantly adding in new things. We want new instructors. So far, we've had quite a bit of demand for crypto. Not surprising, Bitcoin's through the roof. Whenever this happens, everyone goes a little crazy, a little gaga over Bitcoin. So not entirely surprising. But if there's any other courses that you'd like to have, you can go to our website. There's a million ways for you to send me feedback. I'm going to open up our website here. You can go to our website, and a lot of people do this. You can go feedback is going to be on the right hand side. You can just click there, hit feedback. You can tell me what you'd like to see. You could also just email me at rob@lumibot.com. I'm always happy to hear from you guys. I love getting feedback and love getting to know what everyone's up to and what you guys want and what you guys want us to do for you guys. We're a very customer centric company. So this is our algorithmic trading course. You can go to it by clicking on this link. We'll share this this presentation with you guys afterwards when we send out the recording. So watch out for that email. I think we could also add it to the description on the YouTube. We should probably do that as well. But basically, you could click on this link, or you could just go to lumiwealth.com, click on Get Started Today. It's our main course. We still haven't added machine learning to our homepage yet. We're going to do that soon. So right now, you can just click on Get Started. Pretty soon, we'll have 2 different buttons for machine learning and algorithmic trading. We'll be able to split that up. This is our algorithmic trading course. There's a lot of descriptions here about what it's all about. We kind of have 3 different plans. It's the gist of it here. We have a videos only plan, which gives you recordings of our lectures. It's really just to be able to watch pre-recorded videos. It's great because you pay a monthly fee and you get access to the recorded videos afterwards, right? The only problem is that you don't get to have that like live class feel, right? Which is this live class here, where basically if you join, what you're going to get access to is you're going to have kind of this, right now we're doing a webinar through Zoom, but what we do is we do Zoom classes where everyone can interact. So while myself is teaching or someone else is teaching, you just ask questions as we're going. If something isn't clear to you, you can ask about that. If you want me to go into a specific topic, we can do that as well. You also get to know a lot of people in the class. So it's a really like social type of environment. We are very active on Discord, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. But also when you're in the class, you get to see people, you all get to talk to each other. So it's really more like being almost like an in-person class. So you really get that like live feel, and you get to learn really, really well from this sort of stuff, right? This is definitely our most popular plan by far. We also have a project help or tutoring plan. So if you're interested in us helping you build out a bot because you don't want to be, building it yourself, or if you just, want one-on-one help with your bot building, or really anything else finance related when it comes to software, we can help you out with that. We'll get on call with you one-on-one to help you out, or we'll just, write some software code for you. These are the pricing for all of them. Videos only to watch these pre-recorded lectures, and you get to watch the live classes a few weeks after, right? So you don't get to, you're not like live with all the classes, but you'll get the live classes recordings a few weeks afterwards, right? Live classes, again, this is our most popular one. So the first one's $99 a month, of course. This one is $2,000 approximately, divided over 3 months. There's a 3-month payment plan, so you don't have to pay all up front, right? And again, this is our most popular. People love this because they get to interact with the instructor, whether it's myself or someone else. And they also get to interact with other students, ask questions. We get on phone calls with you. So if you ever have problems with anything, we'll interact with you, and I'm more than happy to get on one-on-one calls. There's also assignments that you get to do throughout. So you get feedback on your assignments. And there's also 2 projects that we work on. And let me tell you about those 2 projects that are down at the bottom here. The 2 projects are, the first one is analyzing investment strategies, right? So it's allowing you to basically build your own analysis, right? So this is kind of like free form. You guys get to analyze whatever it is you want, whether it's, crypto or economic variables or whatever else. I've seen all sorts of different cool stuff. You're going to be able to do this analysis, and then you're going to get feedback on your projects. You're going to also present these in front of the class. So you'll see other people's projects, and you'll get feedback on your own from the instructor and from other students, right? So that's the first project. The second project is actually building the bot, right? So same sort of thing. You're going to be able to present this. You're going to get feedback on it, and you're going to actually get help building out your bot throughout this whole course, right? And live over Zoom, right? Those are 2 projects. We have 2 classes. They're starting, one's starting really soon, actually. So if you want to join, really, you should get on this. It's starting January 27th. Registration closes on the 20th. So in less than a week, right? So if you want to start, definitely move ahead with that because it's coming up soon. The next one starts in March on March 11th, right? So that's our next cohort. Okay. And to tell you a little bit about our curriculum, we really have 3 parts. It's 12 weeks in total. There's about a 1 to 1.5 hour lecture per week. It depends on the week, right? At 8 p.m. Eastern time for 12 classes, right? So 3 months, and it's divided into 3 parts here. The first part is data science fundamentals, right? So even if you don't have programming experience, we will teach you how to do data science. If you want to start the class and you've never coded in Python before, we recommend that you probably spend a few days at least getting started. Although it's not required, it'll just make your life a little bit easier, right? But we'll teach you kind of the fundamentals of data science, get you started, and teach you how to start applying these types of things to finance. And this is all, even if you have programming experience, this is also really good for you because you're going to get a finance spin on this, and you're going to learn about how to apply data science to the finance world, right? Okay. The second part is really finance heavy. It's all about how to analyze different investment strategies using data science and using code, right? So we're going to be working with economic data, things like Yahoo Finance, things like FRED, which is the Federal Reserve Economic Data, I believe is what it stands for. And then also a ton of other data sources. Will teach you how to interact with them and pull that in and analyze it and work with it and get insights from it. We're going to teach you about how to do financial performance metrics, which is like things like compound annual growth rates, standard deviations, max drawdowns, Sharpe ratios. If you're not familiar with finance, we'll teach you a lot of that stuff. So if you have a programming background but no finance, this also will be very helpful for you because you're going to be learning a lot of finance concepts along the way, and specifically how to do the code for it, right? And then we're going to get into backtesting. And what backtesting is basically pretty much all the hedge funds, a lot of people do this sort of stuff. It's you take your investment strategy, you look over the past 20 years, how would it have done over the past 20 years or 30 years or 50 years, whatever, right? And you can say if it has done really well over the past 50 years relative to some benchmark, then you could probably say that's most likely going to continue into the future, right? So it's basically a way of testing your investment strategies, testing to see are these things going to be good or not. So really we get really deep into finance in this section. And then the last part, which is the part that people always find the most fun, is actually building out the trading robot. And that's kind of what I'm going over today. A little part of that. There's a lot more that we cover in this entire class, but a little tiny section. Hopefully by the end of this class, you'll actually even have a little bot running. Hopefully, right? Hopefully we can cover enough grounds in that time. But we really get deep into all that kind of stuff, right? We teach you about how to work with Alpaca, which is a broker that's really easy to work with, right? It's this thing right here, Alpaca. I mean, it's app.alpaca.markets. You can go to there if you're interested. We really get deep into that. And then we talk about our open source framework, which I'll introduce you soon, our open source library, I should say, that basically really makes it easy for you to build bots and makes it easy for you to do backtesting and that sort of thing. And then we do a little intro into machine learning and try to get you your feet a little bit wet with the machine learning so you can kind of get started and building out that sort of stuff, because really there's a lot of value there. We'll also be covering how to deploy this bot onto a server. So if that's something you want help with, we'll also be covering that sort of thing, right? Cool. So that's everything about our classes. I think I've covered everything when we get started, our projects, right? I think that's about everything. Yeah. That's our course. You can read about it, click on the link, you can check it out. You could also just purchase here if you're interested. See available dates for the live classes, and then it'll take you down here and you actually select the course and you can purchase. Again, this is starting really soon. So if you want to do it, I'd get started really soon. Okay, cool. So that's our algorithmic trading course. Another thing I want to tell you guys about is our Discord channel, right? So our Discord channel, very, very active. Great way for you to get to know people that are already in the course, speak to them, ask them questions about what's going on. There's always a lively discussion. I mean, this thing is buzzing all day long and I love it. It's amazing. A lot of talk about Bitcoin lately. Highly, of course, because Bitcoin's flying through the roof. Highly recommend joining this group. Just click on this link here, the Discord. Again, we send it over. When we send over the links, you can go and join there, right? Also, just to let you know, we're going to be doing a survey at the end of the webinar. Again, it's great always to get your feedback. Please try to fill in that so we can improve these things in the future. I always want to make these things better, these webinars. And then also you could tell us a little bit about what kind of courses you'd want to take, what interests you, and just how we can help you, because we want to make your lives better. And that's really what we're all about, Cool. So now let's get into it. So now that we've covered that kind of stuff, let's get into the actual meat of it. So first of all, for those of you that are not familiar with the term algorithmic trading, what it is basically is algorithmic trading is using computer software to automatically trade for you, right? So you can go into Robinhood and you can buy and sell stuff yourself, or you can write a software code that will automatically buy for you. There's a lot of advantages to that. Of course, it is much, much faster than any person could ever trade. We literally build bots that could buy and sell 100 times before you could even open up your app and decide which thing to buy. So it's really, really fast. It's unbiased. You don't have to, a lot of times when people are trading, there's like anxiety that happens. Should I sell now? Should I buy now? This takes away all that stuff. And it's really just the computer doing it. So it tends to be a lot more accurate and tends to do really well, right? And, you don't have to take my word for it. The hedge fund industry is really huge into this. It's been, I think, almost a decade now where algorithmic trading, hedge funds that use algorithms as opposed to people, they have been beating every other hedge fund for like a decade now, right? This is a long-term story. They are very well-performing hedge funds. They're doing really well. And what we try to teach you is the same techniques that they use, right? Of course, they're advanced and they're giant companies and they can really take things to the next level. But we teach you how to use similar types of techniques to them so that you can also get better returns on your investments. And it's also really just a fun way to learn how to code and a fun way to learn how to apply financial concepts to code, right? So not only is this a great investment strategy, but it's also a really fun way to learn how to code. So I'll give you some examples. One of the biggest ones is Renaissance Technologies. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of this, run by Jim Simmons, $110 billion last I checked, probably a lot more now. Actually, from what I heard, they actually started giving money back to investors because they make so much money on their own. They don't even want investors anymore, which is kind of crazy. They've been making, I think, 39% average annual return for like 40 years. So do the math. It's an absolutely insane amount of money. These guys, there's a really interesting book called The Man Who Solved the Markets. It's about Jim Simmons, the guy that started Renaissance Technologies. These guys are making so much money using computers trading that they were literally just buying random houses around the United States. They're like borderline breaking laws because they had so much money they could just pay people off. It was absolutely ridiculous. The book is very good. But really, they were making a ridiculous amount of money in this hedge fund. I think it's the best performing hedge fund of all time. Actually, that's what I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. There are other ones that are very similar. They're also very big. Again, these algo trading funds are the biggest in the world, and for good reason. Really, it's just a more efficient way of trading. It makes more sense. Two Sigma is another one. You guys might know Ray Dalio, right? They use a lot of computers in their trading. They don't always use computers to buy and sell automatically, but they'll use it to do the analysis, right? Which we'll teach you how to do as well, to use data science to actually do the analysis of what should you be buying and how to create rules around these types of things and how to actually make money doing this sort of thing, right? So Two Sigma, they're $60 billion. I think they're like very similar returns to Renaissance, making like 35% a year for like 40 years straight. It's ridiculous. That's why Ray Dalio is one of the richest people in the world. Great guy. Citadel is another big one like that. Sorry, I was talking about Bridgewater is Ray Dalio's. Two Sigma is another one. I actually know a couple people from Two Sigma as well. They're doing incredibly well. They're all very similar to each other, and they're all incredibly well performing hedge funds. So we're teaching you those types of techniques on how to do what they're doing, right? Also, not to mention the fact we're going to teach you how to do this on your own. But if you ever want to get a job in this industry, the jobs are very, very high paid. Starting salaries are around $350,000 a year. And that's just the base. That does not include your bonus, which is tied to performance. So if you're working at a place like Two Sigma, you're probably making close to $1 million a year. So I just got a question here. Which trading software and broker can we use with these robots? We use Alpaca, right? But you could use this with pretty much any broker if you want to give you like trading alerts. And then there's other brokers. TD Ameritrade is really good with APIs. Interactive Brokers is another really good one that has APIs. Alpaca is our number one choice personally. There's many that you could use it with, and it depends on whether you want to be automatically trading or whether you want to just have trading alerts. You could do either one. Some people, prefer to actually look at things before they execute the trade, but you can get this robot to give you alerts and tell you when to buy and sell and that sort of thing. All right, hopefully that answers that question. Getting a few more questions here. So answer live, we did that. Thanks, I use TD Ameritrade, perfect. Yeah, TD Ameritrade is a great broker. I mean, they have tons of stuff. They in general are a great broker. They also have great APIs. So although we teach in the course Alpaca, we can help you get set up with TD Ameritrade as well. And I'll show you how it kind of fits into our whole schema. And if you're using TD Ameritrade, we can get you going there too, right? Okay, so we talked about this using software analyze and then provide trade alerts. So you can either get trade alerts, so you can actually get it to execute trades depending on what you want. Just to tell you, just so that you guys aren't thinking I'm making things up, here's a little screenshot of my trading returns. This is with Fidelity. As you can see, over the past year, we've done really, really well. The stock market is up 20%. We're up almost 60. I think we're doing even better now. I personally, or our company, I should say, manages a little over $1 million. I think it's like 1.5 million now. It's grown so much this year. And we've just had astronomical returns. This is one of our portfolios. And to be honest with you, not even the best one. The other one, I just couldn't get a screenshot. The broker's a little finicky. It's RBC in Canada, and it's not very easy to get a screenshot like this. But this is one of our brokerage firms. We, obviously we tripled what the stock market did this year, and we're still doing very well going into 2021. And then our other stock portfolio, I could tell you just offhand, I think we're getting pretty close to 100% returns. It went from like 650 to 1.1 million, over the past year. So that was definitely a very good return there. Getting another question here. Can you trade S&P ES futures with your solution? Yes, you can. And the way that you trade futures is you're going to be using TD Ameritrade, right? TD Ameritrade has those futures there. Okay, they have the E-minis. They have a bunch of different futures there. TD Ameritrade in general is just a great broker, right? And we can help you work with them and help you figure out how to actually get all this stuff set up with them. Again, the class we go through Alpaca, but that's just because they're very easy to get started with, and they have a paper trading, so you don't have to use live money, so you could actually learn how to code through it. But if you want to use TD Ameritrade, we can definitely get that set up for you, and I'll actually get into it a little bit later on how to actually set all that up. Okay, so let's get more into the coding part of it, right? Because I know you guys want to see this stuff actually working, right? So first of all, the tools we're going to be using, as I said, Alpaca is the broker that we're using. They're just really good with APIs. They have paper trading. They're really great for kind of showing this stuff off and teaching it. But again, you could use other brokers. I'm going to be using Python, specifically 3, because, it's the latest version of Python and it's way better, right? We're going to be using Pandas, which is basically a data science framework, right? Or a data science library, I should say. That kind of helps you do really advanced calculations and analyze data using Pandas. And then we're using Visual Studio Code to edit our code. And that is this funny looking thing, this black stuff here, okay? I'm gonna actually close this out because I was running before. Okay, so that's what it is. I'm gonna quickly take you through the code. I feel like we could spend a very long time going through this. We just had a class actually on this yesterday. I think it went for almost 2 hours, because there's so many details to go through. I'm not going to be able to go through it on the webinar. If you guys want that, Alpaca is commission free. So to answer that question, Alpaca is commission free. That's also another reason why we use it. $0 trades, and they have paper trading, and their APIs are great. So they're a really good broker to start off with. So getting back to the code, definitely can't go through everything in this class, but I can hopefully show you guys how to get started with our open source library. If you get into our class, we'll teach you exactly how to use it. We'll teach you how to do all the analysis. We'll teach you how to connect to other brokers. We'll take you much, much further than what you can do through just our open source library, okay? So if you know how to code, if you're familiar with this kind of stuff, you can check us out on GitHub. It's Lumibot. So this is our GitHub link, lumiwealth/Lumibot. So if you go into over here, you can see this is basically our solution here, right? We have a pretty intricate README file. We're constantly adding to this, right? This is a library. So what I suggest for you guys is start watching us, right? Star this, watch it, right? Because we're constantly adding in new stuff. We just recently open sourced this, right? So we don't have a ton of stars yet, but I expect that to change quite quickly. But definitely watch it. Star us on GitHub, because we're constantly doing updates to this, and you're going to see a lot of things being rolled out over the next few weeks. This is our README file. This basically explains to you how to set up Lumibot, and this is basically going to allow you to very easily create a trading robot. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. But you could also just follow the quick start guide here, and teaches you how to set all this stuff up. You do a pip install. You want to install this on your computer. Then you need to set up your credentials, and there's a few things that you need to do to put into a bot file, right? So it's 11 steps. If you know how to code, I bet you, if you know how to do Python, I bet you can do this and probably have it up and running and trading within 20 minutes, let's say, maybe less, yeah? Right, we also have built-in backtesting, right? So there's other libraries like this, Backtrader, I think we're better. Obviously a little biased there, but we also allow for backtesting, so you can backtest your strategy, see, oh, so you're going to build a strategy. I think I'm going to do this and this will make me money. Backtest it, see how it would have done over the past 20, 30, 40 years, whatever it is. And then you could run it live, all in the same code. It's all very easy to go through, okay? And there's a lot of descriptions here about what this is all about, how it's all working. There's a lot of details they can go into. And oh, actually I noticed we have some nice new diagrams in here too. This is what I mean. We're updating this constantly. This is something new to me. I haven't even seen this yet. It's great. So yeah, definitely star us, definitely watch us, because we will be adding a ton of stuff into this library, okay? All right, cool. So getting back to our slides, that's our open source library. I'll show you basically the way that it's structured. If you guys are interested, we go through here. We have different data sources that we can use. Right now we have Alpaca and Yahoo. We're adding in AlphaVantage as we speak, and we're gonna be adding in a few other data sources, and you yourself can actually add them in. They're very easy. If you know how to code, there's like, it's, you know, this is our base class and everything inherits from this class. It's really well organized, right? We've spent a lot of time making sure this library is really well organized. We have different brokers. So as we were saying before, right now we're using Alpaca. If you want to set up TD Ameritrade, all we need to do is add in another broker in here, TD Ameritrade, and you just have to add in some code, and we can actually help you out with that on how to build that sort of thing out. It's really not that difficult. So we can set that up. And then we also have, what is this, different strategies. And we have example strategies in here that you can take a look at. This is, everything is based off this base class of strategy. And then we have examples in here of exactly how to do these different things, right? Diversification, and I'll walk you through a couple of these right now, okay? All right, cool. So that's our, that's basically our open source project. We have all these different things in here. It's very easy for you to create your own strategy. I'll show you how to do this. Backtesting is included, all right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to demo for you, first of all, how this all works. And I'm going to try to explain to you as quickly as possible how to get your own up and running so you can do something very similar, okay? So, so first of all, let me read this over again. And of course, we go through a lot more detail, including, yeah, so of course, this is a really, really quick class here. Hopefully by the end of this, if you know how to code, you will be able to get a little bot up and running, right? But of course, our class goes through a lot more. Can we trade S&P futures? Yes, we can trade S&P futures with this solution. We simply have to use TD Ameritrade. TD Ameritrade can trade S&P futures, and we can add that in. It's very easy to do. So yes, you can trade futures using this solution for sure. And you go through a class, we'll actually help you get all that set up, and you can definitely do all that kind of stuff. Okay. So yeah, so like I said, this class, really, really quick going through all this stuff. When you actually go through our live classes, we're gonna hold your hand the whole way through. How to build strategies, how to do the analysis, how to make sure that these things are working, how to deploy it online, basics of machine learning. We go through a lot of stuff in this course. So this is a very, very quick overview. So just bear with me here. Hopefully I'm not moving too quickly, okay? I'm gonna demo to you 3 strategies, right? There's 4 strategies here. One of them we currently is not working just because we're adding in some new enhancements, right? But I'm going to demo to you these 3 strategies and show you how it all works live, okay? So this is, I haven't done this yet today, so you're going to see this thing working live. Let me refresh this browser here. Okay, we have something. I'm going to delete this, okay? All right, okay, so let's show you some of the stuff working. All right, so here's my code. This code is, so we have a few files here. We have credentials, which has the keys and everything that you need inside of there, right? This is basically our keys. Please don't copy mine. I'm gonna change these soon anyways, but this is what a credentials file kind of looks like. We have our bot file, we call it our main file, whatever you wanna call it. This is basically what that quick start guide takes you through and shows you how to build, right? And then we have our strategies, right? These are 4 different strategies here. And basically what I did is I just took these from the examples, right? So remember how we went into here, Lumibot, strategies, examples. I just went in here and just copied and pasted them, right? Simple is basically this day 11 one. It's just named a little differently. But basically you can go in here, raw, copy and paste, right? and bring it into your own. And you can modify this to do whatever you want, right? And again, through the course, we teach you exactly how to do that sort of thing, right? This is a very quick overview. So yeah, so those are the examples there. This is what a strategy looks like. We have some things inside of strategies. We have how you initialize the strategy, right? You have, this is basically the actual meat of it, what happens during how we actually run the strategy. This is a diversification strategy. So what it does is it basically takes a budget and will allocate. So in this case, it's allocating 30% into SPY, 40% into TLT, 15% to IEF, et cetera, et cetera. This is what Ray Dalio recommends. Is called the all-weather strategy portfolio. You could just as easily make this into a 60-40 stock bond or whatever else you want. Basically what it does is it just rebalances every day, takes a budget and rebalances across those assets. Okay? So let me run that and let me show you how it actually runs in real time. So you see here, we have no assets, we have nothing that we own. And I'm just gonna go hit play up here, okay? And what this code is doing, okay, is it's getting that strategy, right? That creating that strategy, diversification, right? We have a budget of $100,000. So it's going to allocate that budget among all those things. This is going to go here and it's going to back test it for us, right? I always encourage back testing first because first of all, you want to know how your strategy is performing, but also just in case you introduced a bug somewhere or something, you want to back test it first to make sure everything's working properly. So first we back test it, okay? And then we take a look at a benchmark and we see how did our strategy do compared to a benchmark? Did we beat it? Did we not? Right? And then we want to actually run the strategy and have it actually execute the strategy itself, right? And this is all really simple. If you're new to coding, it might look like a lot, but believe me, if you go through our course, we'll teach you how to do this and this will make perfect sense to you. Be very easy for you to go through this. If you know how to code, check out our quick start guide. It will really make it very simple for you to get going, okay? So we see here, we ran the back test. We can see our strategy had these returns here, okay? We had a CAGR of about 0, and that compares to the S&P 500 in that same time frame. So we're looking at a time frame here of January 2018 to January 2019. Over that time period, the S&P 500 dropped by about 3.5%. Our strategy would have beaten it by getting about 0. So it protected us and made sure that we didn't lose money, right? The volatility is also significantly lower. We were able to rebalance throughout. Remember, this is owning some S&P, this is owning some TLT. This is basically a strategy of diversifying your assets, right? The volatility is much lower. The Sharpe ratio is much better. If you were invested in only S&P 500, you would have at one point lost 19% of your money. If you're invested in this, you would have only lost 5, right? So this is definitely a good strategy, right? Especially during that time frame. And we could play with the time frames and see what it would have done in different time frames. If you'd like to do that, go right ahead, right? Now what it did is it actually went ahead and it purchased all this stuff. We have some notes here on what it purchased, and let's take a look at it. And there we go. We see that it actually purchased everything, right? So again, we gave it $100,000 budget. And then we said we want 40% of it into TLT, right? 30% of it into SPY, 15% into IEF. These are bonds, right? TLT and IEF are bond ETFs. And then GLD and DJP, these are commodities, obviously gold and a commodity index. This is, again, what Ray Dalio recommends. And what this will do for you, this code, it automatically buys it for you, automatically allocates, and then will also rebalance on a daily basis or every 5 days or 10 days, whatever parameters you set. It's very easy for you to modify the code, which is right here. We initialize, you could very easily change your settings here. You could have it to be, 50% SPY instead, right? It's pointed to a 0.5, right? Or you could have less bonds, right? Whatever it is that you want to do, very easy to modify. You could also change when it rebalances, which is here. The rebalancing period is 1 day. You could change this to 100 days very easily, right? Or you could make this into a completely different strategy. You can modify this into a lot of different things. We'll show you exactly how to do that sort of thing. But this is like a brief overview. For those of you that do know how to code, this is available again in our examples, and you could mess around with it and see exactly how it works. All right. So there we go. That's our diversification strategy. Let's cancel this, okay? And what it did is automatically sold for me. So look at these, just automatically disappear. It's really cool watching this happen. That was our diversification strategy. Let's try another one. Let's do a momentum strategy, okay? Now I'll show you basically the code here. Again, this is in our examples. You can go through the code. Basically what it's doing, okay, what this strategy does is it looks at these assets, SPY, VEU, AGG, okay, those three assets, and then says which one of them did the best over a 1 day period, in which we could change that to 10 days if you want, modify it however you want to happen. But over a 1 day period, which one of these three did best yesterday? And if they did well yesterday, we're assuming that we should buy it today because it's a momentum strategy. We could change it to be which one of them did the best over the past 300 days, over the past year, right? And you buy those specific stocks. This is basically we're buying either the S&P 500, we're buying either bonds, or we're buying basically the VEU is an ETF that is every stock market in the world except for the United States, right? So which one is doing better? Is it the US is doing better, everyone outside the US is doing better, or bonds are doing better? Whichever one is doing the best, pick that one and keep it for the next 1 day, right? Or 10 days or 100 days, right? Okay. Again, in the class, we go over exactly how this works. We definitely do not have time to go through this today, but this is the code of how to do it. It's really, really simple. If you were to do this without our library, this would be easily pages and pages of code. We allow you to do this in pretty much 1 page, right? Very, very simple to get going. So it's really easy, and it includes the back testing, and it includes the actual execution of the strategy. All right, so it's definitely a great library. But let's actually run it. Okay, so let's run the strategy. Okay, so again, what it's doing is it's downloading this data. It's back testing it over this time frame from 2018 to 2019. And that's what you see here, all this stuff running at the bottom here. There's every day going through. And by the way, you could also, we automatically generate logs, right? So you can go into these logs here. This is, for example, the last strategy. And this is everything that was happening in the strategy, right? This is the date. This is how much we had in each one of those things. Remember the diversification, DJP, there's a quantity that we had. Gold is the price, the quantity. And then you could follow along also the portfolio value, right? So it started off 100K. Next day, we made $385. Next day, we made, in total $500, right? And you can follow this along, and you can actually even open this up in Excel and like graph it out and all that kind of stuff. So you can see exactly how the strategy performed. And just like this one, this is the one that we just ran, the momentum strategy. We have now some details on that as well, right? And this is how that one did. You can see portfolio value, how it's changing every single day here, right? You can just follow that along. It actually did pretty well. Just 17 days into it, already made 4% or $4,000, which is pretty cool. And we can get the backtesting results here again. This would have really beat the S&P 500 in 2018. Again, S&P 500 in that year was down 3.5%. We would have been up 7.5% if we had used this strategy, right? With lower volatility, higher returns, and a higher Sharpe ratio. And our biggest loss would have only been 9% as opposed to 18%. So clearly seems like a good strategy, seems like something that will really be making us money, right? So there we go, it's running. And you can actually see that it started up, and give it a second sometimes. We might need to refresh this. There we go. Okay. So bought VEU. Okay. So automatically bought us VEU. Why? We can actually go through this here. VEU had a return of 0.91% in the past 1 day, whereas SPY was down a little bit and AGG was also down, right? So because of that, we decided that we should buy VEU, and that's what the algorithm did and bought that. Okay. And again, you can go through the CSV file and I'll tell you exactly what happened on every single day when it was backtesting. And you have this information here, why it's doing everything right in front of you. And it's all logged. Everything is in here. You can look over. There's a bunch of question marks here, but there's a log of basically everything that's going on inside of this, right? Here, so you can see exactly what your strategy is doing. You see exactly how everything's working, right? Okay, cool. So there we go. So that's our momentum strategy. The last one I'm going to show you today, because we're starting to run out of time, but I'm going to show you our intraday momentum strategy. So what this is, again, it's in another file here, and we'll show you exactly how to do all this stuff. I am going to close everything because there's way too many things open on my screen. Close others. There we go. Don't save. Okay, so we have, so intraday momentum, I'm going to start running it now because the back testing takes a bit of time, but we'll hit run. So with intraday momentum, what we're basically doing is we're doing a similar thing to momentum, right? But what we're doing is we are essentially, instead of buying the best performing stock on a day by day basis, we're buying it on a minute by minute basis, right? So now you're able to like trade really quickly. This is stuff that like no human being could possibly do. It can do this all day long, never miss a beat, very quick. We could even do it like sub 1 minute if you'd like as well. What it did for us, okay, and let's let it refresh. It bought TLT for us, and the reason why I'm showing you this is because you're going to see this actually change throughout. If I keep this going here, you'll see this hopefully actually change depending on how the market's doing today. You never know with these webinars. But what it's doing is it's looking at a bunch of assets here: SPY, GLD, TLT, MSFT, Microsoft, and Tesla. It's saying which one of them did the best over the past 2 minutes, right? And you can modify that very easily. It's 2 minutes here. I could do 10 minutes. I could do 1 minute, right? We just picked 2 because it's fun to demo, right? But basically we have all the different assets here, and it bought TLT because it was up the most over the past 2 minutes. It's up 0.08%. So because we're a momentum strategy, we want to buy the one that's doing the best, right? So 0.08. Now it's going to do it again. You see now Tesla's actually the highest. So when we switch back to our broker, we should see it's flipped out. See that? It flipped TLT for Tesla because Tesla is now the highest rising, right? So what we're doing is we're simply going at momentum. We're looking at which stock is rising the most over the past 2 minutes or whatever. We're buying that one. So this is very good for like those of you that want to do something like swing trading and that sort of stuff. We can do that automatically for you, and you're not going to get any, queasiness in your stomach because this algorithm will take care of all that stuff for you, right? And you'll be able to back test it, make sure it's working properly before you get anything off the road, out the window or whatever, right? You guys know what I mean. Cool. So I'm going to stop this now. Actually, let's let it run just because it's fun. It's fun to see this thing switching out. But that concludes kind of the demonstration and a little bit of how all this stuff works. And hopefully for those of you that know how to code, this is a nice little tutorial on how to do that stuff and introduces you to our open source library that you can use yourself, right? And of course, we'll teach you specifically how to work with all this stuff in our course. We'll teach you how to do all sorts of stuff. This concludes it. While this is running, do you guys have any questions? I know you guys have been asking questions throughout. What questions do you guys have for me? What can I do to help you with your decisions and help you understand a little bit more about this world of algo trading? And I'll give you guys a little bit of time here because I know sometimes it takes a little while to type out the questions, but if you have any questions, please type them in now. You could type them into either chat or there's a little questions button there as well. Either way, I'm looking at both and we'll be going through those questions. So I'll give you guys a little bit of time to post your questions. In the meantime, we could watch this thing trade and see this thing actually swap out assets. Let's see how this goes. Tesla's probably, my guess is Tesla's probably just taking over today, as it is every single day, pretty much. The only Tesla, we bought Tesla earlier in the year, and oh my goodness, that's one of the reasons why we performed so well this year is because we bought Tesla. Another one that we bought that we own is Voyager stock. I think that one is up about 1,000% in the past like 3 months. So, oh my goodness, I think that stock alone made us like $250,000. Okay, so we got some questions coming in here. For a retail trader like me, what kind of budget are we talking about? I mean, you could use whatever budget you want. Alpaca is commission free. You could start with like $500. If you want to start with more, you can start with 1,000. Also, you can just use paper trading and mess around with it a little bit. You don't actually have to have a funded account while you're going through our classes because Alpaca has that paper trading. This is not real money that I'm using here, right? This is paper trading. Okay, so it's a very easy way to like demo things and learn how to do this. And then with your own money as a retail trader, I mean, some of our students, they only have a couple $100 or of low thousands, right? Some people though, I know have like many thousands, right? So it just depends. You can start with anything. It's commission free. So it really doesn't matter how much money you have in there, right? What percent of your students wind up with positive returns, even small ones? We have quite a few people that are actually making some good returns right now. And let me actually take you to, and you could watch a video on this. So if you go to the bottom of our website, you go to testimonials. We're adding in more as we go. We just need to actually get people on the phones to do this. We're busy all the time. We're actually teaching whatever, but we got a couple video testimonials here they can go through. I'm going to get a couple more so you guys just have more of a flavor. There's some really cool stuff that some of our students have built. But this one right here, you could listen to a game speak, but also really you should watch this video here. This is his trading algorithm results. This is, I have it muted right now, but this is him showing off his bot that he created through our course, right? It'd be a great thing for you guys to watch. This guy is making, or has been making about 1% a day, which doesn't sound like a lot on a daily basis, but if you actually do the math on a yearly basis, that's like 200-300% returns, right? So that's kind of stuff that he's getting. Obviously, not everyone is going to be able to do that, but he has been able to get some very, very good returns from this. And I can tell you some of our other students are actually doing very well as well. So we give you the tools, right? We give you the ways to analyze these stocks. We give you a way to build these algorithms. It's really up to you to actually make it profitable, but you can definitely talk to a lot of these students and they can tell you how they've done it, how they've been making money. I could tell you about how we've been making money. Obviously, we've been very successful over the past year, and actually longer than a year, but especially the past year has been very successful. I could tell you about what works for me. We could tell you about what works for these students. There's a lot of really cool stuff. They use pivot points. There's a lot of really, really cool stuff that they've built out. And if you get on our Discord channel, you could actually even ask them. They're usually pretty active, so you can bug some of the people there and ask them how their trading strategies are doing and how they like the course, all that sort of stuff. Join our Discord. It's definitely a very good thing. We'll send out the links to this, and well, actually, I think we should even separate out the Discord so you know that this is where to join, because I think it's that helpful for people. Hopefully that answers your question. Can the stocks be traded manually from the web console in case there's a problem with the code? Yes, absolutely. Right. So let's go in here and you see it bought TLT, then it bought Microsoft. It's fun watching this. What I can do is there's a fail safe that we put into these bots. On abrupt closing, we sell all. That's when you see me hitting Control-C, it automatically sells all. You can also make it if it crashes, it sells everything just in case something happens, right? But I could also just go into web console and just go here, liquidate, boom, done, gone, right? So if the bot's doing something, we can interfere with it, right? So it's not that this bot goes rogue and like you have nothing to do with it. You can go into the web console and you can mess with it if you need to, right? Okay, cool. Any other questions? We're getting some good questions today. Definitely like you guys on this web chat. I'm going to wait for a little bit for the questions, but hopefully this is a nice little overview of what you guys can expect from our live trading. I could tell you our students love our course, which that just makes me feel very good, because that's all we care about. Well, like I think day and night about how we can help out our students. We get a lot of feedback. We're constantly improving this course. We're constantly improving our library. Our job is to make sure that you learn some great skills for jobs, right? Because a lot of people want to take this course to get into the finance field, right? And of course, in the finance industry, a lot of people, a lot of companies are looking for people that know how to code. So it's definitely very valuable for getting a job and getting a salary. If you work in finance to get that edge, but it's also very good for you guys that are traders. We'll teach you how to build all this stuff out, and people really are making quite a bit of money. I think at some point we're actually, we've been thinking about maybe even starting like a hedge fund around this, where we allow our students to actually create strategies and you can buy into a hedge fund, but that's down the line, right? This is just kind of spitballing here. Yeah, I'm looking at the chat right now. There's a couple of questions in here. Does it give buy and sell signals? Can you please share recording? I missed because of a meeting. Yes, the recording is going to be on YouTube. We're going to be sending it out in the email after this. So keep an eye out for the email. All right. You could also go to our YouTube channel, go to YouTube. This will be up there pretty soon. Right now it's actually streaming live on YouTube. And when it's done, it automatically saves it and it automatically uploads it, right? Go to YouTube, go to Lumi Wealth, right? Okay. Not Lumi Health, Lumi Wealth. Click on us here. Subscribe to us as well, right? So you should subscribe to us because we're constantly putting out stuff. You can see this is us live right now. This will be saved there. You'll have everything there. We're going to also add into the description the links to this presentation that I have. So you have all the links in there, and put in the Discord stuff into there as well. And we're going to send it out through email, so you have there as well. But go into YouTube, subscribe, and you can watch the video again afterwards for this. But yes, to answer your question, does it give buy and sell signals? Yes, we give buy and sell signals. You can make the bot automatically buy for you if you'd like, or you could just get it to send you buy signals. We're going to be adding in some stuff as well where we can make it very easy for you to build out something that says text messages, right? That's something that we're planning on adding in very soon as well, right? But if you rewatch the video, you'll see kind of all that stuff working. It's bots automatically buying and selling stuff, and we can send out just signals as well. Yeah, and the first question was, is this recorded? Will we publish on YouTube? Yes, this will be on YouTube. Just go to our channel, Lumi Wealth, and it's up there. We're also gonna be sending out the email. Cool. Thank you so much. Thank you, Donato. Thank you. Cool. Any other questions? Again, great questions today. Happy to help you guys in any way possible. Definitely recommend you guys join our live classes. Our students are loving it. They're making good money off of this. They're developing great skills that, like, some of the people that have gone through this have gone on to get jobs at some of the bigger banks because they have these skills. And again, these jobs are really well paid. So it's not just you're learning how to build out a trading bot, but you're also learning valuable skills that you can use in the workforce and in other things as well. So this is definitely a great way to learn how to code, a great way to learn how to apply code to the software industry, to the finance industry, I should say. Fintech companies, big banks, they all want this sort of stuff, these sort of skills. And then of course, join our Discord. I mean, you don't take my word for it. Go to our testimonials page, right? Go to our website at the very bottom, testimonials, click on that. You can listen to and watch people speaking about this. You can see, in this case, a game's trading algorithm working live and how he's making money. He talks about how much money he's making. And go on our Discord channel and just talk to people. Don't take my word for it. Check out the students. I mean, we have happy customers, and that to me is the most important thing. All right. We stopped getting, do we get another? A chat one. Okay, let's see. Okay, follow one. I meant while looking at chart, does it give buy and sell? Yeah, I mean, it's a bot that basically you can automatically send buy and sell signals using code, right? Because you're writing code where you can actually automatically buy and sell stuff based on some criteria, whatever it is, right? A lot of people want to do this on technical analysis type stuff, like a chart. We could do that. We could also show you how to integrate with things like TradingView. You're welcome. Good. So I think that answered that question. But yeah, I mean, we can definitely give buy and sell signals. You can build out code to do this. We'll teach you how to do this with TradingView if you'd like as well, to kind of make things simpler. 100% we do that, yes. How long until funds from a sale are available? I'm not sure what you mean by that. From a sale. So, I mean, a sale from an asset, do you mean? Like a sale from when you're trading? I think the broker, brokers usually is a settlement of 3 days, right? Before, like, so if you make some trades, you'll usually have it available within 3 days. I'm not sure if that's what you mean. But that's kind of the typical time frame for brokers when you make a sale of a shares. Hopefully I answered your question. I'm not sure if that's what you meant. If it isn't what you meant, feel free to post a little bit more details about that and exactly what you mean by funds from sale. It is? Okay, cool. Perfect. Great. Great. So we answered that question. Perfect. Okay. So any other questions here? This has been very good. I like how active you guys are today. We have a nice big group today. This is great. I feel like Lumi Wealth just keeps growing. It's amazing how every single time we do one of these webinars, we just have more and more people and more and more interested and loving our products. And that just makes me very happy. We started this business around 2 years ago and it's been nothing but skyrocketing and happy customers. So that's what makes me really happy. All right, let's see. There's one more here in the chat. What is the percentage of back testing? I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. When you back test something, you're going to get the return. So we get a couple different things that we analyze, right? We also print it out in a CSV file. So again, you can see in the CSV file and you can see the exact returns, right? In portfolio, you can follow that. You can put that into Excel if you want as well. And when you run, let's say we want to run, for example, the momentum strategy, right? I'm just doing this because it's faster to run this back test, right? When we back test it, you'll see that it actually spits out some numbers. It'll tell you the compound annual growth rate, right? It'll tell you the volatility. It will tell you the Sharpe ratio. If you're not familiar with any of these terms, it'll tell you what they all mean. These are all things that you want to be analyzing when you're actually doing investments. You shouldn't just be looking at returns. They need to be annualized returns. You should be also benchmarking things, looking at like, it's great that your strategy did well, but how well did your benchmark do? Like, I mean, if the stock market's up 50% and you're up 40%, that's not that great. You know what I mean? Because you could have just, thrown money on a dartboard and it's still done better if you just, did that, right? But when we back test, this is an example of a back test. This strategy momentum made 7.5% in 2018, whereas the stock market did 3.4%, right? Or negative 3.4%, I should say. So in this case, our momentum strategy beat the S&P 500 by about 10% in that year, right? Volatility was also lower, which means our Sharpe ratio was higher. We explained to you all this stuff, what this all means if you're not familiar, but this is kind of the results of the back test and how each strategy performed. You can change the dates on it as well, what dates, right? And all that sort of stuff. Hey, hopefully that answers what you're asking there in terms of what percent of what is the percent of the back testing. The percent that we got on this specific strategy was 10% higher than the S&P 500 in this specific time frame, right? But it depends on the strategy. I mean, we have a bunch of different strategies. And again, if you want to see, don't take my word for it, check out our students, go to testimonials here at the bottom, watch a games trading bot. This guy's making, like 1% a day, which is like 200% a year. It's insane. Like he's making like a ton of money, right? I could tell you our stock portfolio has been doing really well. I spoke about that earlier. We made about 60% in 2020, right? Which is versus S&P 500, which is 18%. We really beat the S&P 500. That's been one of our portfolios. Another one of our portfolios, we almost doubled our money over the past year. So definitely doing quite well there. Where are the charges for learning the bot or using it in TradingView? So again, you can check out our course here. If you go to lumiwealth.com, it's on the main page, get started today, okay? We have a few different plans on how to learn this. We have videos only, live classes, and project help. This describes them a little bit. These are the fees for each one of them. Our most popular is the live class here in the middle. This one, basically it's live over Zoom. You get to interact with other students. You get to ask the instructor questions throughout the class, which is going to be myself in the next session when the one coming up in January 27th over here. I'm going to be the instructor, so you could ask me questions throughout. It's live. If you have any trouble, I can get on a phone call with you and basically explain to you how to do all this stuff, help you get things moving, all that sort of thing. That's for live classes. You could also just get recordings of all the videos. It's good, people like it, but definitely it's not as popular as our live class. That's for $100 a month. And then if you want extra help, so let's say Not only do you want to take this, by the way, project help and tutoring, the live class is included, right? But project help and tutoring, you'll also get one-on-one support to build out whatever it is that you want to build. And we'll actually even get developers to help you build out your strategies, right? So if you get this project help and tutoring, we'll really, really spend a lot of time to make sure that your strategies are working, and really anything else that you need help in terms of like coding and finance, right? We're really, you get 12 hours of support. Really, we tend to actually spend even more than 12 hours of one-on-one support, and that's on top of the live classes. So you really get a lot of help there, right? And then what are the charges for learning the bot or using it in TradingView? I mean, we use it in Alpaca. There's ways to link it with TradingView. It kind of gives you like graphs and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Yeah, the code basically goes through Alpaca. Maybe next time I should even show you guys with TradingView linked, because it is pretty cool. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. I'm not sure if it fully does or not, because you're asking about the charges for a trading bot. Okay, we have another Q&A. Is there an API to get bid asks data? Yes, there is. Yeah, many different APIs. When you use Alpaca, you get access to their live. It's streaming data. So you get bid ask. I think you get actually the full order book from them, and all you need to do is fund an account. You get all that stuff live, bid ask. So if you have a strategy where you want to be like getting in on spreads and stuff like that, like even like sometimes like the penny stocks, you can like sometimes buy and sell things and just make money off spreads. There's so many ways to make money doing this stuff. But yeah, we do get there's an API that gets the bid and ask data. Yes. And that's Alpaca and many others. Right? There's tons of them. Cool. Okay. Any other questions before we call this? This is great. You guys are very active today. This is amazing. I love this. Again, just to let you guys know, just as a reminder, our classes are starting soon. If you want to get started, if you want to actually join our live classes, registration is done in less than a week. So if you want to buy this, definitely get started ASAP, because I don't want you guys to miss this session. The next one doesn't start until March, right? So definitely, if you want to purchase, if you want to get started, now is the time to do it, right? And if you want to purchase, if you also want to talk more about this, you could also book a call with myself or with someone else on our team to walk you through any more details if you want as well, right? Or just click here and buy, right? Pretty simple. Cool. So I'm not seeing any more questions, so I'm going to assume that's it for today. Thank you very much for attending, guys. Absolutely love interacting with you. Love these questions and all the things that we went through today. I hope you guys have a great day and yeah, and happy trading. Cheers.